Yeah. Hi, everyone. Greetings from National Skills Network. This is Madhuri, and I'm continuing my exploration of the sector skill councils. Today, we have a very interesting sector which touches us every day, I should say. It's about food processing, and the industry is booming with a lot of activities, a lot of requirements for skilled people, and it is one of the industries where even a self-employed person can create a very sustainable livelihood. And let's know more about the industry. I'm in conversation today with Mr. Sunil Marwah, and the name of this Sector Skill Council is Food Industry Capacity and Skill Initiative. So welcome to this talk, sir. I'm so glad you could give us your time today.
Thank you so much, Madhuri ji, and honored to be here on NSN.
Thank you, sir. My first question again would be, as I said, this is one of the industries which has huge potential, but it's always in the news also for some reason or the other. Like sometimes we talk about food adulteration, sometimes, issues with food packaging. And so there is so much to talk. I really don't know where to begin. So honestly, I would like to ask you a very simple question about, with so many subsectors that this industry has, how have you gone ahead prioritizing skilling initiatives, and what are some of them?
Well, I think the subsectors may be what they are, and what you have rightly said, adulteration and packaging and so many other issues. So we have largely, in our initiatives, we have focused on food safety and hygiene. And that has been a multi-pronged approach that we have had. So we have run uh, food safety and hygiene programs which are mandated by FSSAI, and they are so we have run that at the micro level as well, at the corporate level as well, because there are advanced manufacturing techniques, GMP, HACCP, allergen management, and so many associated health related issues which may arise out of wrongly processed food. So we have focused a lot on that. This is what is very essential if you have to make safe food.
Right.
And for example, last financial year, we trained more than 50,000 women handlers from UP and Haryana and Uttarakhand, who were basically into livelihood. They were doing food processing at nano enterprises. So we trained them on food safety and hygiene and certified them under the FSSAI mandated FOSTAC. So I would say that that has been one area, and the other area that we have focused is on entrepreneurship, and that too in the baking segment, because bakery is one such area where you can do, at even a small scale, at a home level, you can create additional income with some very, very basic equipment, but with lots of ideas and creativity. So, and I have known people who have done this, and they have actually moved from their one kitchen to outlets and even made some shops. And the world is actually available for people who are bakers. People can also get employed overseas. There's a huge requirement in various liners, the luxury liners. So that's been another area that we have focused on. Nowadays, we are focusing a lot on the spice industry. We are creating some programs for the spice industry, because spice industry is in the news for all wrong reasons. And we want to take some rectification steps, and ministry and the government also wants us to do some capacity building and others. So multiple areas. Millets is one area where we have been at the forefront in Jharkhand, where we have created a team of trainers and master trainers, and we got funded from UNDP. So various initiatives that we have taken depending on what we are required to do, what is the need of the hour.
Right.
We've also trained the street food vendors. So I don't know. I could not answer a question, but I can only safely tell you that we are in line with the national priorities and the schemes and the policies of the government. And we try and push them forward in terms of implementation.
Okay, that's very interesting, sir. I think you touched upon various subsectors. Also, I would like to, mention about the other aspect of the requirement that we all have today in the light of NEP 2020 and, the skills getting mainstreamed with general academic learning. There's going to be a huge need for people to know about this sector. Let's say, for example, colleges want to offer a program as a part of their skilling program. So how are you strengthening this academia and industry, partnership? Like, are there any specific initiatives like through curriculum or through outcome-based learning as we are emphasizing on today? Maybe you can mention some of these things.
You see, typically what actually happens is that food processing students do food technology courses. They do a BTech course, which is 4 years.
Mhm.
And some of them get employed, some of them don't get employed because it depends on the curriculum, how updated that curriculum is. And the industry really expects people to be functional the day they join.
Right.
They're not willing to invest considerable amount of time and money in terms of training those engineers. And many times the curriculum is frankly outdated and it is not really current. Especially when you look at colleges which are in far-flung areas, which are not so much in touch with the industry realities. So we are developing a campus to career program
Okay.
where we have outlined some 8 or 10 areas where a graduate or likely to be graduated student needs to know what are the things that are required for him on the job. Now, for instance, we are currently, my team is working on the application of artificial intelligence and machine learning in food processing.
Mhm.
An engineer who passes out in food processing BTech right now has very little knowledge of AI and ML.
Okay.
So, artificial intelligence and machine learning is revolutionizing the food processing industry world over. And today, our major focus is that our campus should work on it. So, we are working out a program where we are going to train teachers
Mhm.
in AI and ML, and those teachers can then in turn take up these particular programs for their students. Because that's what is very necessary so that the students are not really out of sync with what the industry requirements are.
Okay.
So I would say career, the campus to career. So there are nano qualifications and also micro credentials which are under preparation,
Okay.
which will get the NCVT stamp so that we are able to give them the Skill India certificate as well as the credits. So a whole lot of work is being done. The other day we cleared almost 30 such certifications, which will then be positioned along with BTech. That's one part of it. Other is people who want to do additional courses just for their knowledge of other benefit, which is related to food processing. So baking is one such area where we are pushing a lot of colleges, and there's a lot of interest also in young people to learn about baking just because of the fun of it. So that also is being incorporated. And sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Food selling is also very technical. It's not as we may feel that it is simple. It's not.
Yeah.
So we have made special curriculum which is meant for BBA and MBA students who can get employment in the food processing, sales and marketing line. So which covers various aspects of promotion, managing modern retail, managing digital marketing, social media marketing. So it's a very comprehensive program which we will position hopefully very soon, maybe by September, so that the BBA students, especially, BBA students really need a lot of opportunities because of various constraints that they have. They tend to land up only in BFSI. So we want them to have a greater choice. So this would be one of those courses which we'll offer to them. And linked with that, this is also linked to the industry demand because a lot of our industry members have been telling us that, look, we know how to manufacture, but we need people to sell.
Yeah.
Because selling, whatever you may say, is still a challenge in this country. And you may say that we are doing digital marketing, but then still it is a challenge because you need to go to the Kirana stores, you need to sell to supermarkets, you need to sell to the Horeca segment. So it is not that straightforward. So there was a demand from the industry itself that create this program, and the industry has collaborated with us. So they have vetted the curriculum, they have gone through it, and so I think it's very exciting times because that's opening a new avenue for us. Because so far skilling we concentrated generally on the bottom of the pyramid, but now we're looking at more educated audience as well. So we have to do a balancing act. We can't say that we can do one without the other. Both are required. Today I had a meeting with a content development agency where we were talking of how can I teach women entrepreneurs, especially SHGs to become entrepreneurs when the education level may not be beyond class 2 or class 3. So I can't give them a book and I can't give them a handout. I'll have to do some exercises and role plays and videos and pictorials and that's where the challenge we are facing all the time. Different audiences. There is no one pill which cures every ill. So we have to find new solutions all the time.
Yes, very true. And the fact that you mentioned that, you are looking into the higher education segment, that itself adds the aspirational value, I'm sure, to various skilling programs. You also mentioned just now about baking. I think this is one of the examples. I just wanted some clarification. Isn't baking also a part of the hospitality, industry? Is it like, it overlaps with both the industries?
There
Or
is
how is
some
it
amount of
different? Yeah.
there's some amount of confusion.
Yeah.
The hospitality industry covers baking, which is meant to be in hotels itself.
Okay.
Whereas independent bakeries as well as the automated bakeries are part of our domain. That is what we are supposed to take care of. They are supposed to take care of what happens in the hotels.
Okay.
So we will not like to get into hotels to train them, but independent bakers, and there are too many independent bakers, and there are too many automated bakeries making biscuits, rusks, buns, and those are the ones that we cater to.
And also nice. So, and you also mentioned about AI ML. Maybe it would be interesting if you can give us a small example how it is actually playing an important role in this industry today.
Well, it's it is playing in more than one ways, and for instance, I can tell you that traceability is very important today. When we talk of food, people are wanting to do more and more. So if you have a product which is saying it is organic,
Yeah.
there may be some people who would like to know using the QR code that where the tomatoes in the ketchup came from. So
Okay.
was that farm actually certified as organic?
Hmm.
So there is this whole supply chain which is to be monitored on a regular basis.
Hmm.
And this data has to be collated and available at the fingertips.
Hmm.
So that's clearly one way in which it is required. So you are gathering the data at every stage, even in the factory. The sensors will be capturing data as to what is being produced, who is producing it, what
Hmm.
was the rejection rate. Those kind of things are captured and then data analytics are run.
Okay.
So this is one part of it, and then the industry also uses AI to find out which is the best place for them to buy their raw materials from. Looking at different algorithms have been made, looking at the rain, the soil conditions, because tomatoes, or for that matter, horticulture products, as we know very well, certain areas are known to have certain quality,
Yeah.
other areas lesser quality. And if you look at spices, spices vary. The taste of spices varies from region to region. The Assam spice will be different from what comes from Kurg or Kerala. So AI helps people to understand what is the quality availability, because more the variables, the more
Hmm.
the need to run algorithms and to arrive at what is the best solution for you.
Oh.
However, another very major thing is on demand forecasting. So,
Hmm.
for instance, if we are selling dehydrated soups, and dehydrated soups have a very small window, they don't get sold throughout the year because this is basically a hot country. So whether it's the monsoon time, when it's heavy rain, or the temperature drops at a particular level, that's when soups get sold. So if at that stage you have this information where you are supposed to pump your product, you can make sales. So
Yeah.
connecting with the customer at the right time. Otherwise, many times you go to Kirana stores, the soups are languishing, all dusty because nobody wants to have them because the time is gone.
Right.
So AI will help you to give that information. So decision making will become faster, better, more accurate. You'll be able to cater better to the customer requirements. And I really feel that even the supply chain that we're talking of, logistics, tracking your vehicles, where the vehicles are going, what is the temperature if you are having air cooled or refrigerated vans. So there are so many things which can happen. It's very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And here we are working with IIT Delhi. We are not experts in AI ML. So
Hmm.
IIT Delhi is our collaborator in this. So they have done tremendous amount of work in this field. We have an MOU with them, and then we are rolling out with their knowledge. We are just enabling it because it's their knowledge. We're putting it together.
That's really exciting, sir. And the explanation you gave is so simple, and we are able to relate. I'm sure our audience will really appreciate this part of it because we are able to see how all these latest emerging technologies can become a part of sectors like this, where we are talking about technology integration. Now, let me ask you something which is, again, I would say the bottom of the pyramid, or really in terms of empowering. You already mentioned like SHGs and women particularly. So we know that this sector has a huge MSME component, and a lot of them, we also see a lot of videos which are from the government of India encouraging people to take up right from making masalas, that is the spices, or juices, or any of the processing and local produce being made into this. And we also saw in programs like Shark Tank India, where there were entrepreneurs, who were into it. So is there anything from your Sector Skill Council to help these entrepreneurs in terms of training, or, creating linkages or anything like that?
Well, you know what? We have a YouTube channel where we have more than 250 videos.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing is very certain that you can't expect these entrepreneurs to come into classrooms and enroll into every time they have a need. So, at a fingertip, we have created some 250 videos which talks of various things, from dairy products, from jam, jelly, ketchup, and various other items, which are basically industry based. So those programs are available and they can have a look at them at any point in time. MSME based program, we also have an e-learning LMS, learning management system, where we have more than 30 programs, 30 courses which they can pick up, and they can learn as per their need, at their own pace, at their own time. So these are the two things that we do take care of. And in addition, we do live sessions. We, on a regular basis, conduct programs which are for MSMEs, where they can enroll it and they spend a day and sometimes 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Because these people also in certain far-flung areas, for them it is not possible to transport and be available at certain urban locations or cities. So
Yeah.
we are reaching out to them, and on an average, we do about 5 or 6 programs with them. And we also do knowledge sharing sessions, which are free of cost,
Yeah.
where we take up topical issues which are of interest to the MSMEs, whether it is related to regulation, whether it is related to nutrition, the labeling requirement which is there. So we take up those programs, webinars, where people can log in for an hour and they can get to hear from experts,
Mm.
and they can also post questions. So there are various ways in which we are interacting, because I tell you, technology has been a major savior for us, because the MSME segment is spread over a wide area.
Yes.
You can't be present in everywhere. And for Sector Skill Council, being present in every location is just not possible. So technology has made that possible now.
Yes.
And we are reaching out and trying to do our bit to get the MSMEs to be more competent, more capable, so that they are able to produce better quality product and take up the competition.
Okay.
Because I firmly, personally, I believe that MSMEs are the solution to food processing, simply because we have varied tastes.
Yeah.
Our country, you can't say that the pickle which gets sold in Chennai is the same pickle which gets sold in Calcutta or in Delhi, for example. As you know, there are different brands. I mean, if you go to Bombay, it will be Bedekar.
Yeah.
And if you go to Andhra, Telangana, it will be Priya Pickles.
Yes.
So unless and until there are MSMEs, because the taste changes after every 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers. So
Yeah.
MSMEs can only cater to varied taste. There is no central agency which sells pickles.
Hmm.
So MSMEs have a tremendous role to play in this country, and the food processing industry, it's a backbone of the food processing industry. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
So
And
we are very, very aware of it, and we work a lot in making them more capable.
okay. Okay, that's interesting. And also, the initiatives you are taking through technology, I'm sure this is really helping you connect. And also, sir, just to add to what you said, besides the pickle and all the papad and the other things, I also read about, like, say, local fruits. Like, say, for example, there are places where custard apples are grown in abundance, or in some place there is a typical other fruit, or very interesting stories I read, like it could be pineapples in the northeastern part of the country. So, it's so interesting to know. And I feel, now with NEP, we are also talking about bagless days and other things for children. If they are sent to these places, they will also get interested, I'm sure, in this sector. Yeah.
They do, but it's Madhuriji, it's a big challenge. We are working with FICCI to do cluster developments. And you mentioned pineapple. I'm very glad. We are working in Golaghat in Assam. There's a district in
Hmm.
Assam where we are skilling women and to process pineapple. So it is a fact that in those places pineapple actually goes waste, because
Yeah.
unless and until logistics are good, many pineapple, and what you process is not what you eat. So what comes on your table is not what you process. So this is something, it's a basic principle which we need to all understand, this principle of economics as well. So the best is what comes onto your table. The B and C category is what is processed.
Hmm.
So if you do not give an avenue to the farmer or to the farmer's wife or the community there to take care of the B and C, maybe more of C, to make a value-added product, their incomes can never go up.
Right. Yeah.
So Assam we are working on, and currently I think on the 24th we're starting a batch there. So pineapple processing we are working in Golaghat, and other than this we have in fact, got numerous requests from various ODOP kind of projects where we have done some small initiatives. But nothing much comes to our mind right now. But I'm sure this is an area which we will like to work more on.
Yeah. Yeah, just to clarify for our audience, ODOP is One District, One Product scheme, which has a huge potential again for food processing. I think, so we will also keep ourselves updated by going to your website and checking out for latest updates. So before I
Please.
close this, I would like to ask you another important question. This is about apprenticeships, because every sector skill council is driving apprenticeships and helping industry to build their own talent pipeline. So how is it in this industry? Is it always with the big names like the big Kisan or any of those big names that we have, or is there like a medium segment, or they go to the micro kind of industries also for apprenticeships?
No, Madhuriji, micro is not taking it. Frankly speaking, NAPS is not going to micros at all, because there is a compliance issue.
Okay.
And some of these people are still not coming into the regulatory framework. So micro, there's nothing which is happening, but the MSMEs and the large enterprises are coming forward. We have been on the forefront. In fact, as per the NSDC rankings, we are amongst the top 7 SSC in terms of the number of students who have enrolled in NAPS program. We have some 15 approved courses where we are making available to the industry to take on NAPS, students under NAPS. But I think there are a number of challenges. One being that the uh, the student needs to have a post-NAPS future. So that's what we are grappling with. Number one, typically when NAPS happens, the focus is on few activities and not all-round development of a particular job role. So we are wanting to support that with digital content so that they are able to understand the finer points of the job roles that they are being assigned to.
Yeah.
Uh, Thirdly, post-NAPS placement is what I am grappling with and how we can get them assessed. So can we get more and more students assessed? Can we get them certified?
Hmm.
Can we provide them with further extensions or employment in other organizations? So
Yeah.
because ultimately what actually happens is that a student who gets enrolled in NAPS program and looks at only 1 year window, it is not really sufficient. And the way the commercial uh, considerations are, people want fresh people to come in and the older lot to go out. But as an SSC, our job is not done. So every person needs to get uh, a fruitful, existence. So, that's what we are grappling with. Let's see, because it's not an easy task. Because we have last year we did about 25,000 enrollments under NAPS, and we are hoping to do 50,000 this year.
Okay.
In fact, that's the objective. So 50,000 people need to find position in NAPS. But then I asked my people how many of them have been assessed and how many people are we going to get jobs after they've done the NAPS program. So to do that, we need to give them something more than just the work X. They need to have a knowledge framework as well.
Right. That's like bridging the gap and also keeping them updated, right? To make the transition. Yeah.
It's learning by doing, and that's what it is, And the industry really doesn't want to get bogged down by red tapeism and regulation. So, but it's been simplified so much now that
Yes.
people can't find excuses that we can't do it now. It's really so
Yes.
right now it's tragic if an organization says it is red tapeism. It's no longer. The government has simplified it a lot.
And also there is DBT schemes that also I think is in the favor of the training providers, right? The
No,
industry.
the DBT is for the students, so the student gets directly.
Yeah.
So which keeps him motivated. So there's no dropout that really actually
Yeah.
happens in that case.
Mm.
So he has something to look forward to on an ongoing basis.
Okay.
And he gets a kind of how do I explain it to you? He gets an official stamp,
Hmm.
that he's getting from the government at DBT, although it's 1,500 rupees a month, but he's getting directly into his account from the government account. So that gives him a kind of a status that, he's not a temp employee, but he's actually part of a prestigious All India program, which is run by the union government.
Yes.
And that to the youth is very important. The sense of ownership to a particular program, a sense of pride, that is what drives people to excel.
Right. And this can be used later also, right? It's a proof of the work that they have done, the training that they have undergone, and many things.
I want them to be assessed and get a certificate of skill India. That's what my ambition is, that each and every person. So we have asked the government on certain, how we can go about doing it, because either industry pays or the student pays, and the student generally don't have that kind of money, so the industry has to pay. And we have even suggested to the government that why doesn't the student get reimbursed? So if a student has passed the assessment process and got certified, he should be given at least 50% of the assessment fees.
Okay.
So it could be a kind of a reward also for him, to a motivation for him to. So let's see, it's work in progress.
Okay, great. So before we close this, perhaps you can, give us few ideas about lots of people who watch our YouTube channel and also our, the e-magazine which they read, they might want to associate with you. We often get queries like somebody wants to do like an RPL certification, because this industry, I think, has a lot of scope for that also, or someone wants to offer courses. What would be your advice to them? How do they approach you? They can just write to you or
See, the website is one. Website has this thing, and we are regularly monitoring it.
yeah.
They can raise a WhatsApp group also, which is there, a business WhatsApp where they can post their requirement. We are on LinkedIn as FICSI, as well as Sunil Kumar Marwah. I'm there on LinkedIn. We have FICSI on Instagram. FICSI Digital is what FICSI_digital is on Instagram, where they can send us a direct message. So there are a number of ways in which they can reach us, and I personally and my colleagues, we do handle these queries on a priority. So I can assure your audience that they'll get a response.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all the details. And it was really wonderful talking to you and learning so much about the industry. Thanks a lot. And we look forward to be in touch with you.
Thank you so much, Madhuriji. It's a real pleasure. And we're looking forward to, working lots more in food processing. And we are hoping to get support from your
Sure.
website and your, thank you so much.
Sure,
And
sir.
Jai Hind.
Sure, sir. Jai Hind. Thank you.